Welcome to Kitchen Table Tangles. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. You know, usually we sort of have an idea of we're going to teach a tangle or some sort of a system or something like that. But I had a few requests for people that just wanted to watch me do a tile from start to finish.
And so this is like, okay, just going to put the camera on and let her have at it. But as usual, this has turned into something really, really cool. So I think you're going to enjoy
I
this.
started out with a stylus that had a round ball on it, just to indent the tiles, because I'm going to fold it afterwards. And I didn't have a lot of thought before I did this. I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and so I started out with well,
Sort of well.
and well again, because it's a really to me wonderful way of filling a big space fairly efficiently.
Right.
I don't know if efficient is the right word, but you can see that I'm adding the second layer of well, which in most cases would be smaller than the first, but you never know what I'm going to do.
and this is a really good example of takeoff and land. So you'll see when she works off of that circle, she slightly retraces the circle, so there's a nice smooth transition from the circle to the line.
So now I'm putting in the third, layer of well.
So, sort of like fractal well.
Yeah, just doing well and then doing well inside the sections, which is kind of a fractal. Yeah, right.
And turning the tile.
Yeah, I almost feel like we should have music, because
Right.
the whole point was just to sort of watch me do this, which is kind of fun. I actually like to watch myself draw as well. If you guys ever wanted to try as well, yeah. If you guys ever wanted to watch yourself draw afterwards, you probably would learn things about your techniques that you didn't realize. Like one of them that I realized after I started filming was that I don't know if you can see my left hand there. I have my left hand under the tile so that it's easy to turn it. It's not such an effort of having to pick it up each time.
And particularly because she's working on her blotter, which is this like felted or velvety finish, so it's a little bit too much friction to spin the tile.
It's a suede mat. That's what it is, yeah. You can find those. I like the sponginess of it. I like to draw on it. You can find suede mats at frame shops.
Yeah, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner there on the screen, it really takes the ink well.
I love to draw on it.
And notice how she retraces almost all of the circles.
But it gives it a little more character. It doesn't have that hurried look to it.
And
not that there's anything wrong with that. But.
No, but also she's using a Sakura brown pen, and we're using a white plain or unstrung Zentangle tile. And you can see the color of the brown changes when you go over the stroke. It gets darker.
Mm-hmm. Well, it gets more of that really nice color that I'm looking for. Yeah. So you can see how this is filling up quickly without a lot of effort. I think I just got one more down there to do.
So the way this works is that she's always coming off the circle in a clockwise way, and that makes it, you can connect any circle to any circle that way.
So I'm isolating like a triangular section, and then floating that petal shape like you would do on bales, right?
Right, like starting out on bales, except she's sort of echoing or semi-auraing it.
Right. So I'm baling and unbaling. Hey, I got a new verb here. I'm baling these until cows come home.
But it creates this really neat meta shape or meta pattern when they're next to each other. And you almost lose the original well structure.
Right. You see right there that it would have been an awkward triangle to do well, to do that baling in. So you could see I sort of cut it in half, like without even thinking about it. I just,
Yeah, you can do
sometimes
that.
you can do stuff like that when you think that, oh, it's not going to be very nice. You can cheat. I love that part of Zentangle.
Yeah.
You can just cheat.
Or it's not so much cheating as adapting to the unfolding
I like the idea that I was
circumstance.
cheating.
Okay, cheating. I'll
Because
go.
I never do it in anything else, and I think, well, I'm living on the edge by being a tangler.
Okay, so now with the black Micron 01,
It looks like I'm just winging it. So I'm doing a series of very choreographed little orbs here, and they kind of have the look of a Bronx cheer, but it's a little more choreographed, and it's going off the edge. Almost looks like the middle of a Black-Eyed Susan. If everybody knows what that is, I'm not sure if it grows all over the world, but they grow wild here, and that's what the center looks like, which I always thought was the coolest. Kind of conical, wonderful, beautiful, bright black
those
thing.
little blackberries we found yesterday.
Yes.
Remember on
yeah,
the stone wall?
right. And you can see how this right away adds like this popping drama all over the place, just without really thinking about it. So what am I going to do next? Oh. So by making that shape on the outside, okay, those Black-Eyed Susan shapes, when I do it on a flat in the front here, your eye assumes that it's that same shape, that it's coming out at you. It's weird that the minute you do those things on the edge, the one in the middle seems like it's doing the same thing, only it's coming out at you.
Reminds me of those, what is it called, jet, from like the 20s or 30s.
Oh, those buttons,
yeah.
the black jet buttons,
Yeah.
yeah, which I must have 50,000 of them from your aunties.
Right.
Can you see it coming out at you? It's so cool.
And the center one she did a little bit bigger, and just leaving that little highlight in the middle, that sparkle. Sweet.
So I didn't do this with everyone, but I did it with the larger ones. Those Susans are just growing all over the place. Isn't that pretty? It's kind of pretty, huh?
Neat.
Without a lot of effort.
Could be a nice blown glass piece, ornament.
All right, so next I'm going to do a series of sena. And this has been my favorite tangle lately, my go-to, because I'm discovering all kinds of things with it. Every time I do it a little bit differently, which that's the Zentangle way. And it just seems like it goes off into such directions that you cannot anticipate what it's going to look like.
I was just thinking that embossing was like the string. It's like an invisible string.
It is sort of an invisible string, right? So I think I went back and decided that I'm going to add some drama on the sena. Redefining the line, coming around. So sena involves these wonderful curved lines that spin off that first initial, like it's almost like a black string, right? Got like a pen-drawn string in there that you're drawing off, which will disappear. And I'm going to keep doing this. Oh, I guess I'm going to go back and forth. I didn't even remember that.
I think you're layering them. What's neat is you'll see her pausing in different places, and you can really get the feeling of like what's going through your mind as this is going on.
So I actually did this tile quite a while ago. I'm trying to remember as I go along. I have the tile sitting in front of me, and but like I said, did it quite a while ago. So by going back and forth with these different bouts of Zena, is that what I wrote, bouts? It's
Different
like a
rhythms.
disease. So that what happens with that is that you can, like Rick said, layer them or go behind or go doing. Now look at this. I'm just sort of gotten a little bit bored with that other line where it was going. So I changed to the curve to make it going underneath. See how easy that happened? So you can tell when we go to shade that it's going to be gorgeous.
And I like how you sort of ored around those blackberry or those little buttons.
Mm-hmm.
The nice space.
And if you really look carefully, you can see that my pen stroke is a little darker over by the beginning, and then it gets a little lighter in the middle and then dark again at the end. And I'm sort of, it might be hovering on the edge of a diva dance by adding those little weighted pieces here and there, but in a more metered way. So here I'm going back to the, I just said it, there's diva dance.
So Diva Dance is one of our tangles, and if you go to our newsletter in the archives, just search Diva Dance, and it's a really, really fun tangle. Very simple, based on aura, and
It dances well with
it,
Sena.
It is. And you can really add some accent and drama with that changing widths.
Now this is my normal speed of drawing.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit quicker than some people, only because I just draw all the time. I've been drawing my whole life, and as I look back, it's pretty long. It's getting longer and longer.
Oh, I like how you introduced that little wrinkle in there.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it's almost like a crescent moon, right?
Coming in now, yeah.
It's a design on the fly kind of
Yeah.
thing. Love that.
So it's a good, little reminder of, as you're going along, just to how spontaneous Maria will do something as she's going these apparently repetitive motions.
And I guess this is sort of giving you permission to, even after you decide to do a tangle, that you can always just fly off in another direction and nobody is going to say anything. If anything, they're going to say, wow, I love you. I hadn't thought of doing that.
A little rounding there. But still, the whole theme of Sena, of tracing or auraing the line and allowing it to adapt and shift, that stays constant throughout this whole playful experiment. Like sort of carefully combed and then wind-blown hair.
Mm-hmm. Tousled.
Tousled.
I don't know exactly what those little things peeking through, but they seem organic and like they belong there, like eggs that are trying to hatch and they're just making their way to the surface. Right? Does that sound good?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
pearls.
Pearls. Pearls? Yeah, okay, we'll go with pearls. You can see how this is going to be a dream to shade.
curve at the top is cool. Okay, there's one side. And you can see her changing the weight there. Light, then heavy, light, then heavy. Using aura.
See what I just did?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Wow. That's the benefit of getting older. You don't have to remember everything.
This is a great example of why we teach aura right away.
Oh, and this is like a series of crescent moons, right?
Yeah. And if you go on, I think we show sena on the, I'm not so sure, but I think we should do sena on the newsletter.
Yeah? Oh, okay. You mean a step out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, what's going on here?
So you can see her thinking, okay, now what? So I sort of left all that in there because, just, I really like imagining what's going on in your head as you're doing these.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So a little Knightsbridge creeping in there.
Oh, and it's actually more like, what's the one that Molly likes all the time that she does?
Marisu?
No, the one that goes on that's really bold. It's, I just can't think of it right now.
Very sweet.
Vega. Is it Vega?
The beautiful part of this is it introduces this little bit of extreme light and dark. So there's a nice bit of contrast and drama interspersed with the echoing lines of sena. Same with those little pearls. It just interrupts the straight line shape.
Ooh.
Cool.
It's like in the middle of a hurricane or some sort of a swirly storm that's blowing up. So I got my wonderful, magical General's white chalk pencil, and I'm just toning down half of this beginning. You know, that cone shape, not a cone shape, that marquee shape in the middle. And just to highlight it.
Vesica Pisces.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think to put the white on it over the white, but it has this really subtle, beautiful
There's a
impact.
softening,
Yeah.
almost like a haze that's kind of cool.
And you'll see how it plays in. So this is it. This is fun.
Okay, so this is again, it's a General's watercolor pencil in like a soft turquoisey color. I don't remember if I showed the pencil name color. I can't remember. It's like a turquoisey color. It's one of my favorite ones to work with. So I'm adding the blue around the edge here to kind of make that Vesica Pisces pop out. Terracotta. So this is like a brownish, reddish brown color. Look at that color. Ooh, beautiful. So I added it here and there just to give some character and movement. And now I'm going to put it on one side of that, on the other side that's not covered in white. And I'm doing it very lightly. I don't know if you can see. Oh, look at the color. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
But it's very light. These put down a lot of color.
So I have a fat paintbrush full of water right now, and I'm just kind of going over it. And it just changes the look of the pencil. So I'm doing the blue first. You can see that, and this is real time. I'm just kind of going over it, moving it around and adding the water. So then I clean the water and put it over this. Oh, look at that color! Isn't that cool?
So even though she put it down really, really lightly, there's a lot of pigment there.
And there's a lot of water on this
Yeah,
brush.
this is sopping wet. And you can see how, quickly and casually is putting that down. But it blends the two colors together really nicely.
So, and what I just did was I dried my brush up, and I'm picking up the water in between the two to soften the difference between one and the other. See that? I always use my hands, my fingers. So that's kind of cool, right?
So then after it dried,
After it dried, and as a real afterthought, I took my X-Acto knife. I don't know if everybody has one of those, but I shouldn't have my finger quite so close to there. Here. So I'm kind of slitting those little, but wait, don't do this until you see the whole thing, okay? So you can see what actually I'm doing. So now you remember we scored this paper so that it could fold at the beginning into that Vesica Pisces shape. So it's folding all but the little Susan shapes that are sticking out. Just to give it a little bit, something different, a little bit different.
that is so cool. That is so cool.
Is that too cool?
And it sort of rocks, too.
Yeah, it
rocks.
rocks.
It
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah. I like things with movement, right?
Right?
All kinds of movement. But you can see that effect of the white and then that reddish brown on the marquee shape. How pretty is that?
Oh, and you must have added a little bit of red on the berries there. Or on
Oh
the
yeah, I
pearls.
can see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have done that between takes, when I stopped for tea or something.
That was really neat. So weaving in your chop. There we go.
Look at the red berries. Aren't they pretty?
Very sweet.
That's just sort of like, to say that you can do anything at any point in time, right?
Fun. Well, thanks everybody, and
Thanks for playing along.
we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye now.